What is up, my snow friends? This is the Snowbard, and I'm here to talk about like a few results that I have participated in with a league, with a locals league that a few friends of mine have been hosting for in Outpost Brussels, and I'm gonna just do a run through of like the two locals in that league that I've participated in recently, and I'm just gonna jump right into it. Yeah. So this is this is technically week 2 because shout out to my friend Hokori who has made this website, and I believe it's in English, and I think I can link his website in the description. You can check the tournament results and everything, but I'm just gonna go over like what happened, if I remember correctly. So this was last week before I went to Porto at the time of this recording. We were 22 players, and I came in 5th out of the top 8. I did 3-1, but I lost to a down pair to this emu list, and I'll fill in the rest of the top 4. But I think I can showcase my deck list here just quickly. So I'll zoom that there. I also have my match history. So this is the Jinbe list. I played a standard bounce list with Jozu, Trafalgar Law, and I did a 3-3 split between Perfume Femur and Gravity Blade because I still love Gravity Blade. I believe this is the best replacement you can get when Red Rock does rotate out, and it does get rid of 5-cost blockers eventually. And got my match history. I won against Blue Purple Luffy, Hokori himself, playing Black Crocodile, and this one was a Mihawk that was running Eustace Kid, and I managed to punch my way through Kid and win, but I lost against Emo going 2nd. So we're just gonna skip on over, going back to the deck list. So this is, I'll just show you, I think, what the other deck lists are. So this one was, 4th place, Meliodas is playing Purple Yellow Rosinante. And just as a reminder, 4 life, 5,000 power leader. Once per turn, if your Trafalgar Law will be KO'd, you may add the top card of your life to your hand instead. Activate main once per turn, Dawn -1 during this turn. The next time you play Trafalgar Law from your hand with a cost of 4 or more, its cost will be reduced by 2. So this is a ramp deck, but it cheats out your big laws so quickly. So we'll run through the deck list because I believe this is one of the most straightforward decks that I've seen in a while. So we have Trafalgar Law, OP09. On play, you look at the top 4. You get to look at 2 cost or greater card with either Straw Hat or Heart Pirates, which is basically your loss, and then the rest at the bottom. Sugar does the same thing, but it looks at the top 5 where you rest a Don and this character, and you look for a Don Quixote Pirates, which is basically your Rosinantes. So you have like 5 searchers here so far that I'm seeing. And the reason why this deck actually went into the meta in OP14 is because of this promo law. P93. 4 cost 6,000 power Trafalgar Law with the Heart Pirates. It's a blocker, and on play, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of Dawn cards on your opponents, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as rested. So ideally, you want to be going, I think, first because you're ramping. And what happens is that you can attack for 6 or 5. You play a Law. Whatever Dawn that you used for either searching or attacking, You get to Dawn -1, and then you start playing Law here that ramps. And then you get to do that every turn. Oh yeah, this Rosinante actually looks for a Law specifically. So you have like 9 searchers. Sorry, I actually didn't see the Rosinante over here. But you have Blocker Law. You have this Law that Dawn -1. If your opponent has 7 more cards in hand, they may trash 2. And every turn you actually get to do the Law effect. And then you have cards like this Law, this Rosinante in Law. 6 costs 8,000 power. Under the rules of this game, also treat this card's name as Trafalgar Law and Don Quixote Rosinante. So searchable with this, searchable with this, searchable with sugar. On play, if the number of Dawn cards are on your field is equal to or less than the number of Dawn cards on your opponents, draw a card, then add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So it's the same thing that Law does. All you have to do is just block, block, block. That's what I see here. 7 costs 8,000 Law does the same thing. And then where you basically ramp or you get your Dawn back. And then your Don Quixote Rosinante and your Heart Pirates type characters get plus 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn, which is basically all your blockers. And then Shirahoshi says that if one of your characters with an original cost of 6 or less would be removed from the field by an opponent's effect, you may turn the top card of your life cards face up instead. So this is protection. You're doing a lot of blocks. What else can you play with Rosinante's effect? This Law. On play, reveal a Supernova's type character card from your hand and add it to the top of your life face down. Then if your leader has the Supernova's type, give up to 1 rested Dawn to your leader. Don't see a lot of Supernovas other than this Law. Or I believe this Law. Yeah, we can actually tutor that. This one is a 2K counter promo that came out. I think it was more readily available in PRB2. And the trigger says if your leader has the Supernova's type and you and your opponent's life total is like the total is 5 or less, you play this card. So it's a 4 for 5. Going back to the Law, I think there's one more that you can actually play. It's this Law. It's a rush. Activate main. You may trash a card from your hand and trash this character. Add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then play up to 1 Trafalgar Law with a cost of 7 or less from your hand. You can do some shenanigans. Well, technically you should play this. I think you should play like one. Like you can either play this as a 3 or 4, like 3 or 4 copies. It's just that Melio at the time didn't have like EBO3 like copies of Law, so he was only able to play with 2, but he still managed to do 4th place, which is very good. But this one combos superbly well with Law because now you play this, you attack for 6 or 7. I am not really sure. Then you play this, and then you put all your blockers plus 1k. Very, very nice. So, you have another 2k counter in Baby 5. Multicolor, draw 2 cards if you trigger it. This one is an event that I haven't seen in a while. This technique extinguishes all sounds. There's another name for this, I think. Main up to 1 of your Trafalgar Law gains plus 2,000 power during this turn. So I think this Law or this Law. If that character attacks during this turn, your opponent cannot activate blocker. So I'm assuming it's actually for either this Trafalgar Law, this one, or this one. And you draw a card for a trigger. So this is this is an anti-block. That's actually interesting. I didn't see that before. There's dual bullet string, 2 cost event with counter, Dawn -1. If your leader has the Don Quixote Pirates type, up to 1 of your leader or character cards gains plus 2,000 power during this battle. Then that card gains plus 2,000 power during this turn. Is that the correct wording? Actually, I'm gonna check that because I have the card. Wow, mid recording, just pulling cards out. Yeah, that's fun, guys. Yes, the card says the exact same thing. So plus 2k for the battle and then plus 2000 for the turn. So if you were to put this on your Rosinante, he becomes 7,000 power for the rest of the turn you attack. I did not see that actually. That's actually pretty good. And then 2 copies of You're the One Who Should Disappear, where if you have 0 life cards, you get to heal and discard a card, or you trash a card from your hand, it's plus 3. I Love You. This is interesting. Counter, up to one of your leader or character cards gains plus 2,000 power during this battle. Then if you have 2 or less life cards, you add up to 1 Trafalgar Law from your trash to your hand. So you can get this back or this back or this back or whatever. And then you have a single copy of You'll Frighten Me. If you have 2 or less life cards, up to one of your opponent's active characters cannot attack during this turn. This can save you, I think. This is also played in Boa, I think, from time to time, or Nami. Yeah, but yeah, this is a typical like Don Quixote list, and if your Trafalgar Law would be KO, so any one of your blockers, you may add the top card of your life pile to your hand instead. So technically, you're keeping your laws. You're keeping your laws while also getting a card from your hand. But then you have so many blockers that your opponent is gonna have a hard time getting through them. And then all you have to do is put law, you put law, you put law, you put law, like law, blocker, and then there's no way for them to get through. And then eventually you just start attacking with your blockers and then they just die. Honestly, I love the deck. It's kind of sweet. Looking at it from at first glance, I've never played this deck before, but looking at it for the first time, this is actually a really cool deck. And yeah, eventually I might try it, but for now, just gonna leave it as it is. Then we have Emu as 3rd place by Ramtin. Same deck list as basically everything that you've seen in my previous recaps. There's really not much to say. It's just like a standard Emu list. And now that we have the ban list, Emu has not been touched. He's gonna come back. Like, Emu's gonna come back in OP15 because pudding no longer exists. So I don't know if it would be safer for them to just have a hand. That's what I see. I don't think I need to recap this. Like, this leader has been out for like 6 months already. Like, say 5-6 months. There's really not much to talk about Emu. The deck list has been solved. What do you want me to say? Like, do I just like explain how Emu works? No, you just like, you want to go second. You Shalria into Saturn into, I don't know, you Mars, and then you Warcury Nuzjuro, and then you 5 Elders. Use this to like get cards in your trash. You want to have the Empty Throne. Never existed in Ground Death, basically, or plus 4Ks. If you want to recycle your 5 Elders, there's Shirahoshi. Losing My Edge gets both of them, or Mio's Guard. What do you want me to say? It's Emu. He's gonna come back. So I'm just like, there's really not much. Like, I can't really, comment. That's what. Yeah, so. This is Black Nami community, or Tekken no Karakan's Tsunami list. This is 2nd place from last week. And I think in one of my videos, I also referenced this list. I could do a recap of Nami, but I feel like at this point, if you've been playing a lot of One Piece, you're gonna recognize what Nami does. So it's 5,000 power for life leader. Your turn, once per turn, you may activate this effect with a life card. When a life card leaves any life area, yours or your opponent's, draw a card if you have 7 less cards in your hand. Dawn attached. 1 Dawn attached on opponent's attack once per turn. You may trash a card from your hand, and this leader gains plus 2,000 power during this turn. Every single card in this deck aims to either burn life or heal. Nami, new card from EBO3. just like one rested onto leader here, and then burn your opponent's life if they have 3 or more. Nico Robin allows you to trash a card from the top of your life to heal 2, and then you draw a card. Burn life, heal, heal. This one KOs or sets the top card of your life. Nojiko bounces a card. Young Girl, draw a card, trash 1, and then give up to 1 rested Dawn card to your Nami. VV, the new VV, allows you to play 5 cost, so you can Straw Hat or Alabasta, so you can VV into Nami actually, or any of these Namis. Pudding is a very strong card, but she will be banned. I think I did like a ban. I'm gonna link like a ban list discussion, like my first thoughts on the ban list in the video. But yeah, there's really not much more for me to say, like apart from Newgate as well. Draw 2, trash 1, 2 rested Dawn, so you're just drawing more cards. So it's a Nami list that will get stronger because of OP15, EBO4, yellows, Borsalino, that if you play it, if you have 2 or less life, you heal 1. And then you also play Rayquaza. I mean, I already talked about this, I think, in another video. I'll probably have to reference it. Or I'll actually link a video to John's to Tekken no Karakan's like video. I'll probably look that up and put it in the description. Hopefully I don't forget. And yeah, I don't think there's anything much to say about Nami. She's one of the strongest decks right now. That's for sure. And she will get stronger. And I believe the last one is a purple Dofi that also went for that also won. This is the same list as, if I remember what Rolcat said to me like last night before I joined the tournament, because I asked about this, about his deck list. I don't think anything changed from the last time I recorded this video. I think the one thing I remember is that he added a Viola, but I'm not sure if it's now 2 or 3 copies. Either way, Doflamingo, 5,000 power, 5 life. On your opponent's attack, Dawn -1, you can redirect an attack to something else. Sugar is a searcher, Dellinger is a searcher on KO. Viola gets another event, which honestly, Noro Beam Sword is like one of the strongest cards in the Doflamingo deck. Yeah. Sugar allows you to cheat out Virgo. Baby 5 allows you to heal life. Rosinante trashes 1 and untaps 2, so you can trash, I don't know, Divine Departure, get hold up Noro Beam Sword. Don Quixote lets you play everything else. Monet draws 2, trashes 1 on KO. And Virgo is your anti-removal. So this is a standard. I think this deck list is also solved. Like, this is what? How many times has Doflamingo won, I think, since I started recording? Oh, it's won like 3 times. There's not much for me to discuss, you know? It's the same deck list. It's the same deck list. Like, nothing has changed. And yeah, I mean, there's not much for me to do. I'm just gonna move on to the, yeah, I'm gonna move on to what yesterday actually. There's yeah, that's not visible at all. I'm gonna see if the metagame at the top pane. We were 18 yesterday, and I only placed 7th after losing to Gantzer in 5th. I did not play the same deck list. I won't be revealing the deck list, but hint, this is a Warlords build that I think I will eventually get to in OP15. So this was the first time I was testing it in locals. I might play it in the Treasure Cup this weekend. So yeah. So recap for the top 8. I'm 7th, beaten by Red Purple Roger and 5th. Tekken no Karakan Tsunami list is 6th place in a 3-1. And then Crocodile Hokori, the one who created the website, is 8th place. Then you still have Ace on 4th, Emu on 3rd. If I remember correctly, this is a Mihawk on 2nd, and this is a Bonney. Yeah, this is a Bonney in 1st. So congratulations to Zinzin or Zinedine Zinzin for actually going through for actually winning this time. Yeah, if I click on this deck list, it's not the same one. You're going to see. I'll probably show you. I'll probably show my deck list. Hang on. Okay, so I did a variation of this list for. Okay, I say Papa Jinbe, but okay, let me just find that list. Yeah, I think it was something like this, but I didn't have like originally my list was like from like last week, but then I decided to go Warlords and I was testing a bunch of Warlord stuff, so I was going for, since Jinbe was going to be unbanned in 2 weeks, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try my own version with this Jinbe that allows me to search for a Warlord other than Jinbe, so he can't search himself, but he can search for everything else. And this was like 4 copies. I had like Femur and Gravity Blade as per usual, but then I think I also added Aladdin. So it was a last minute change that I did, and I managed to do 2-2 surprisingly. And yeah, it was pretty fun. Like being able to test this like in real time. I was like, okay, like this is a bait card. And I was so sad because like I have 4 copies of it in alternate art. I'm like, shit. I wanted to just play it so bad, but I can't. So yeah, it's sometimes when you play test a deck, good thing it's just locals, but in the Treasure Cup, I have to get a bit serious. But it's nice that I'm actually exploring. Yeah, so for this one, we're gonna check the 4th place list, which is Dogan, which is his ace deck. Typical ace list. There's really not much for me to say. Yeah, it's 2 like standard 4 copies of Garp, 4 copies of Marco, 4 copies of Yamato, 4 copies of Jozu, 4 copies of Newgate, 4 copies of I Am Whitebeard, 2 Newgate, plus 2 red Newgates, 2 Rogers, Uta Pudding, Cavendish as well, and Red Rock. So it's a standard like ace list. What's surprising about this is that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in Ace that will rotate out or banned in 2 weeks. And I don't know what's going to happen to Ace. I really don't. Yeah. For me, this is... I don't know what's going to happen to Ace if he loses Red Rock. If he loses... Here's the thing. I said this in the first thoughts that I had. Blue loses Red Rock and loses Pudding, but Yellow gains Rygo. Yeah, I don't know how Ace is going to survive. So, I'm not really sure. Then, 3rd place is Emu. Again, like what Ramtin's list is, there is nothing for me to explain here. This is a standard Emu list. 4 copies of the 5 Elders plus the SR, Saint Shalria, Searcher Event, Ground Death, and Never Existed, except there's 3 copies of Ground Death and 3 copies of I'm Losing My Edge instead of a 4-2 split. I think this is more to be able to find Shirahoshi even better. But standard list, I don't need to talk about it. Let's move on. And yeah, we're going to see the top two, which are both green decks. And yeah, let's see where they are. So if I remember correctly, it was a Mihawk. 1 second. Yeah, just a reminder of what Mihawk does. 5 cost, 5 life, 5,000 power slash. If your opponent's leader has the slash attribute, this leader gains plus 1,000 power. Activate main once per turn. You may rest one of your cards. If there's a character with a cost of 5 or more, set up to 3 of your Dawn cards as active. Then you cannot play character cards from your hand during this turn. The way I see it, it looks like a standard list. Except... curious. I was going to say this was standard list, but then I see Wanda, I see Pedro, I see Nekomamushi. And then I understood why. Because you get to search for Carrot and Law and Beppo with Wanda. Okay. And you can search for Pedro because it gets to KO rested 6 or less. Fair enough. This is a 2k counter. You can search for Wanda. And then for Perona, you get to search Zoro, Tashigi, not Perona, but you can search for Shanks, Mihawk, Law and Beppo as well, I think. And one of these events. Coffin Boat allows you to draw cards. So, okay. So 12 searchers with this Mihawk. Zoro is already interesting as well. Because on your opponent's turn, if this character would be rested by your opponent's effect, you may rest one of your other characters instead. Carrot actually freezes. Tashigi, if it would be removed, you may rest one of your cards instead. Perona stops 2 attacks, or I mean stops 2 cards that to be rested. Shanks reduces power as what his 10 cost does. Standard lists, I usually see 3 Mihawks, but this is 2. So if this is rested, up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 9 or less cannot be rested. And then opponent's attack once per turn, you may trash a card from your hand to give plus 2,000 power during this battle. Okay. Beppo freezes and gives plus 2,000 to your leader until the end of your opponent's next end phase. Okay. We're going to get to the events. So 3 Electrical Luna. Okay, now I fully understand why Wanda is running this deck, because of Electrical Luna. There's a Pedro, Nekomamushi, Carrot, Blonde. Okay, so this is the first time I've seen a Minx build for for Mihawk, and I'm so glad that I do not see a stupid useless kid in this deck. I don't think you need it, but Electrical Luna is so annoying. Yeah. Trigger, you rest up to one of your opponent's characters, but if you play it on main, every single rested character that is 7 or less does not become active. If you time it right, your opponent does not get an attack step. That's crazy. This one is the same thing. It's a mini Luna where you rest 2 of your Dawn cards. Up to 2 of your opponent's rested characters for the cost of 7 or less will not become active. So this is also Electrical Luna, but for a 1 cost, and it's also a counter. Dead Man's Game is still here, and Trichilocosm, I think, is interesting. Up to one of your leader or characters gains plus 2,000 power during this battle. Then if you have 8 or more rested cards, that card gains an additional plus 2,000 power. So it's a 4K. And it's doable to have 8 rested cards because of your Dawn and your characters. Okay, so fair enough. But I thought this would be a standard Mihawk list, but then all of a sudden I'm like, oh wait, why are you playing Wanda? Oh, okay. It's okay. This is me just recording all my thoughts in real time, okay? Like, deal with it. And now we just get to Bonney. Bonney, long-time staple since OP7 and Block 2. 5,000 power, 5 life. During an opponent's attack, once per turn, you can rest 1 Dawn to rest up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters. So this blocks an attack directly. So standard, if you've not seen Bonney's list before, you have typical Bonney here. That actually got reprinted in PRB2, so this will not rotate out. This will not face rotation in April, in 2 weeks. So this is good. So Bonney actually gets to survive a little longer. I think for about, yeah, actually for a while until she phases out. So this one is a searcher for a supernova when you activate main and you rest the Dawn. This one allows you to search as well as like Bonney. And then on your opponent's attack, you can trash this character to set up to one of your Dawn cards as active. Tashigi is anti-removal. Cavendish allows you to restand 2 Dawn if he's the only Cavendish in play, which is most likely the case. You've already seen Carrot from the other list. So you freeze a rested 7 cost or less on play and when attacking. Jewelry Bonney is a blocker that on play, if you have 8 or more rested cards, you draw 2 and trash 1 card from your hand, then set up to one of your Dawn cards as active, which is helpful for this Bonney. And I just removed it. Perona, you've already seen it in the Mihawk list. X-Drake is a 2k counter that if your leader has a supernova type, you can rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less and set up to one of your Dawn cards as active at the end of the turn, which is very helpful with your leader's effect. Law, you've seen this in Zoro, in Green Zoro, where you play it, you bounce something to your hand, and then you can play a 5 cost rested. You can play a Cavendish, you can play Bonney, you can play Perona, you can play Carrot. Hody Jones is a green staple. I'm pretty sure you've seen it before. Rush, 7,008 costs, 7 cost, 8,000 power. On play, rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters and their Dawn, and then take the top card of your life. Mihawk allows you to restand 4 Dawn, but you cannot play anything more than 7 this turn. Zoro is interesting. I don't see a lot of Zoro and Bonney, but I'm guessing this is for Emu matchups. Because you can attack 9,000 like 3 times or even more. You can attack for 16 actually. Okay, so this is definitely for Emu. Yeah, almost forgot about that. Law and Beppo, you've seen it in the Mihawk list. Don Quixote Doflamingo, you've seen it in other lists, I think, that I've done. On play, a total up to 3 of your opponent's rested characters or leaders do not become active during your opponent's next refresh phase, so this is a freeze. And 2 Deadman's Game. Typical Bonney list, I think. Man, having played this game for so long, you're just like, okay, I see it like this is a typical list, but I'm like, how do I explain it to viewers who don't know how the game works? It's just like, for me, I'm just like, well, you're kind of like skipping things over, but I'm like, no, it's like, I guess that's something that I should be more conscious of in my part, where I'm like, okay, like, maybe if you guys would comment on it, it's just, or like, you know, as a suggestion or something, maybe I can do like, okay, maybe I'll do a deep dive on like one deck list and just to explain like, okay, how does this deck work? What cards go with it? You know, if you're interested in seeing that, then I'm totally okay with actually doing one of those types of videos eventually. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the 2 leagues that I've done. Also, before I forget, we were like, yeah, no, I did mention this. We were like 18 players before. So yeah, there's not much I can say. These are the 2 leagues that I'll be doing. The ones that I did, I think, one before and after my trip. And there will be an off-meta tournament on Saturday and a Treasure Cup on Sunday. I will most likely cover those. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, just leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and stay frosty.